Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today I'm using the Artline Honey Resin, a medium viscosity resin, and I want to pour the Terra Flora technique, but I want to pour it in a scallop mold. So I've mixed some resin. I have here 50 grams of resin in 1 cup. And I added 10 drops of the pigment drops, and I add a little bit of the Karat Sand color. This is my first color. I love this creamy off-white color, so that's why I'm using this. Then I have 30 grams of resin, I'm sorry, and a little bit of metal silver. Then I have 30 grams of resin, and I'm using here some acrylic inks. This is a magenta. It's from Schminke, but I doubt you can get it in the US or in the UK. It's a German brand. And the same I'm doing with the turquoise color, also 30 grams and 4 drops. And in both cups I'm putting some of the interference pearl mica powder. So you see it there. And these are my colors for this pour. I need to stir these very, very well so that everything is mixed well, that there are no particles left, and you see it. I made this video a little bit faster, I guess by twice. I don't know how you call it when you do it faster, but it's double the speed. And I'm really making sure I work everything of my powders well into my resin. Also here the silver, I love to work with silver. Silver is a beautiful color for some effects. I really adore it. So also here, stirring this very well. And then my white, I need to make sure that everything is mixed in well as well. So you see I'm getting this wonderful off-white creamy color, which I really adore. It's beautiful. So, and I'm almost done with stirring. I will stir these also a second time. And now I'm gonna grab my mold, and it's the XL mold from MoldsandShapes, the scallop mold. I hope I have it all in my screen. Yeah, I think you can see it. So I can start pouring my resin. I'm making, like always, a thin layer of clear resin in my mold. I'm very curious how it's working also with the Artline Honey resin. This is still a rather new resin for me. I've used it a couple of times, and it's always nice just to test out, just to see what effects I can create. So with different resins, you get different effects. Sometimes I am hoping, of course, to get the effects like I'm getting with the Ultra Cast, which I'm using many times, or the Resin Pro, the Art Pro. So I'm very curious about the Artline Honey resin. I'm now making sure that all the bubbles, which are trapped at the sides and on the bottom of the molds, that they are gone. And then I can start using my alcohol inks. So I need to clean them a little bit, otherwise I have those particles in my resin piece. So it takes a while, I hope you don't mind. So the first color I'm taking is the brownie. And I'm sorry, my coffee machine is starting again. I'm very sorry about the noise. I hope you don't mind, and I hope it's not disturbing so much. So this is the brownie, a wonderful color from the alcohol inks. Then the next color, I think, is the berry juice. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was the berry juice. I'm just dropping it on top of my brown. So if it's not the berry juice, I'm sorry, but it's a pinkish color. And the next one is the ocean, as far as I know. And I'm dropping this also on top. And these are my colors. I really like it, the way the colors are looking. And now I'm just taking my dotting tool, and I'm very carefully just going from left to right a little bit, and then I just drag a little bit the ink also down. So it's actually a nice pattern. I like this color combination. It's very beautiful. I think it's very beautiful. So hopefully it gives me some nice effects. So like always, I'm starting with the silver. And as you see, I'm not putting any clear on top of my alcohol inks. Actually, I don't know why I didn't do it. I guess I forgot about it. So now I'm going from left to right. I try to follow a little bit the shape of the mold, and then it gets difficult to follow the shape, and I'm just pouring as you saw. So this is my first color, the silver. The second color is now my mixture with the turquoise and the pearl color. And I'm doing the same thing. Really adore this color. It looks very beautiful effect with the interference pearl. Now my next color, this is the magenta, and also very beautiful with the shimmer of the interference pearl. Really like it. So I'm also pouring this like I did with the other colors. Looks a little bit strange, I need to admit, but it was a test and I wanted to see if I can achieve some nice effects and how the resin is moving and yeah, how it's gonna look in such a mold. So I'm doing the same with my white, and you saw that I went a little bit more towards the edge, but except from this, I'm doing exactly the same thing like with the other colors. And this is practically my pour. Almost done. I'm smoothing out a little bit some parts of my pour. And then I was thinking, how can I pour the rest of my clear resin for the push? And I'm pushing from the bottom and going a little bit upwards. And can you see at the sides already these beautiful colors? I'm very, very curious how this is going to look like and what pattern this will create. So I'm really very, very curious. Anyway, then I have a mixture of some silver leaves and some glass stones. And I think it's going to come in a second, and I will pour this on the bottom of the mold the same way how I would pour the seashell technique. Then I also do something at the bottom of the mold. I think I'm actually mixing this in the background. So while I'm mixing this, you can see the nice colors and that the resin is already moving. It's already doing something. And I'm really positive that I can achieve some nice effects. So this is now my silver sheet, and I just make sure that it gets in very small pieces. I really love to work with those metal sheets. It's very beautiful. And now I'm also adding these little glass stones. They're really fine glass stones in silver. And I'm just stirring my cup. I'm sorry it's a little bit off camera, but there you go. And I'm not sure, I think I also added a little bit of alcohol ink, but I'm not quite sure. Yes, I did. I added a little bit of the brownie, just a drop, just to get a nice color. And this I'm gonna pour now in the center of the bottom of this mold. You see it there. So I was trying to get a little bit a scallop shape, which was not easy, but then I thought I just leave it for a while and I'm not doing too much. I added a little bit of clear resin to move, to loosening it up a little bit. And then I hope that the resin would be still moving the sheets and that I get some nice effects. What I can already tell you, what I did later after I did the time lapse, because the time lapse is coming very soon, I dragged a little bit the silver sheets towards the center. So, and now I took again my whitish, my off-white color, and I'm pouring on top. You see it there. I just want to make sure I have enough resin that can pull towards the center. What I'm expecting is that I will also have some clear parts, but I don't mind. So I don't think that the resin will completely go down where I have now my silver sheets. So I think the resin will only pull towards the center. Now I'm pouring my silver, and then I'm using my blue again, and then I can torch my little piece afterwards, and hopefully I get some nice effects. But if you see at the edge of the mold, you can already see the resin is doing something. It's moving, and it's moving nicely. And yeah, there was something in my resin piece. What I want to do as well is just to gently drag a little bit of the resin downwards. You see it in a second. Yeah, there was still something in there. So now you see what I'm doing. Very slightly, just a little bit, I'm pulling with my dotting tool very carefully the resin down. Not sure if it does anything. I do this also at the beginning or on the top of my piece. You see it there at the sides. And then my resin can do whatever it needs to do. I will help it a little bit later on with the heat gun as well, just to give it a final push. Because when you have such a mold, which is not symmetrical, sometimes you have struggles that the center is closing. So you need to gently help it, but don't blow too much, because otherwise you ruin your pattern. There's a big risk that you don't achieve the pattern you want to achieve. Anyway, so far so good. I also love the color combination. I think it's looking very good, very awesome. Really like it. And here you see my heat gun. I'm really very, very careful. You see, I'm not doing too much. I will use it in between. Again, maybe you can see it in the time lapse, not sure. But yeah, here's now the time lapse, and you can see how the resin is moving. It was moving very slowly, I need to admit. But like I said, it's the mold. It's the mold itself. And it creates different effects because it doesn't close up all over the piece. So I was happy that the resin was really moving towards the center, that at least the center part was closed, and now you see it. And now you can see also that I dragged a little bit the silver parts towards the center. From that side, I already think it's looking amazing. I really love the colors, and I'm so curious how it's looking now on the other side. So fingers crossed. Very, very curious. And before you ask me, I think in total I mixed round about 450 grams of resin. So anyway, my mold is also not completely full. It's a rather thin piece. And look at this. Look at these effects at the sides and the webbing which you get with the Terra Flora technique. It's very, very awesome. I really like it. I prefer pouring this way instead of doing a normal crackle effect and then a web effect, because sometimes it's too hard where the crackling stops and where the web effect starts, if you know what I mean. And I think pouring it this way, you have a smoother a border between both effects. That's what I personally think. I'm not sure what you're thinking, but this is what I like very much, and I'm very, very happy with this tray. I love the color combination, and I love the hints of the silver, the sheen of the pearl, the colors itself. It's very beautiful. Anyway, with this, I love and leave you. I thank you for watching, and take good care of yourself. Bye. Bye bye.